What's good? It's Woog. We are continuing our 2025 Grammy Award coverage. We are going through the categories, we're predicting winners, while also giving some Grammy history, and we'll continue to do so as we near the date of the ceremony, which is February 2nd. In this video, we are taking on Best Rock Song. Now, what's interesting is, as long as rock has been around, this category, Best Rock Song, only got started in 1992. The first winner in this category was Sting with the Soul Cages, that is off of an album by the same name. And the second winner in this category was Eric Clapton's Layla, but not the original version that was on that 1970 Derek and the Dominoes album. I'm talking about the slowed down unplugged version. That was the second winner in this category. That was 1993. And this is a songwriter's award. So whoever contributed to the songwriting of the song gets an award. So in the case of Eric Clapton, it was Eric Clapton and Jim Gordon, who actually just died last year, but he was an original member from Derek and the Dominoes, and he was a co-writer of that song. Duane Allman famously played that original guitar riff on that original version. And an interesting note about Jim Gordon, again, who was credited in co-writing Layla, he was also the drummer, but he was also a convicted murderer. And reportedly, in a schizophrenic psychotic episode, he killed his mother and was incarcerated from 1983 to the time of his death in 2023. Yeah. Now, moving away from the dark and macabre, the most wins in this category with 4 wins, it's a 3-way tie between Dave Grohl, former Nirvana and Foo Fighters, Pat Smear, who was a late arriving member in Nirvana. So this is after Nevermind. So 93, 94, Pat Smear joined Nirvana first as a touring member. And then fast forward years later, he is also a part of Foo Fighters. So he won every time Dave Grohl won in this category. So Pat Smear has 4, Dave Grohl has 4, and then Bruce Springsteen is also a 4-time winner of this award. Now, when it comes to most nominations, Bruce Springsteen stands alone in first place with 10 nominations. So think about that. Bruce Springsteen, who's been around since the 70s, has 10 nominations since this became a category in 1992. So 20 years into Springsteen's career, if you start the clock there, he still has more Best Rock Song nominations than anybody in the genre. So Bruce Springsteen, number 1 in nominations with 10, followed by Dave Grohl in second place with 8 nominations. Now, the nominees this year are the Black Keys with Beautiful People Stay High, St. Vincent with Broken Man, Pearl Jam with Dark Matter, Green Day with Dilemma, and Idols with Gift Horse. This is Green Day and Pearl Jam's 3rd nomination in this category. This is Andy Clark / St. Vincent's 2nd nomination in the category. This is the Black Keys' 4th nomination in the category, and this is Idol's 1st nomination in the category. Now, the Black Keys with Beautiful People Stay High, I would say that the Black Keys are about a decade out of their prime. Like, I think that they, between Rubber Factory and when they had Attack and Release, then Brothers, then El Camino, up to Turn Blue, I would say Turn Blue is kind of the cutoff on where there was a lot of excitement generated around the Black Keys name. Not to say that their music was any less good after that or they became less talented. No, none of that. But it's the natural career arc where you have like your prime buzz-wise, and then you just continue to make music, and then, you know, it might do fairly well, but there's, again, not the same excitement around the name. I would say, again, Turn Blue was kind of the cutoff. That was around, I think, 2013, 2014. So they've released a few albums since that. This Beautiful People Stay High song is one of those kind of upbeat, kind of harkens back to El Camino when they had those types of songs. What was that? Lonely Boy? Yeah, this kind of harkens back to that type of energy. Pretty bouncy song. And then you've got St. Vincent, who is probably, I would say, the hottest name in this group. Like St. Vincent, I would say, since Actor, one of her very early albums, and then Strange Mercy, when she got to the self-titled album, then followed by Mass Education, that's where her name really started to take off. Before, she was kind of seen as kind of quirky art pop. I mean, for me personally, it was kind of an acquired taste, but then as her releases continued, I'm like, damn, she's kind of funky, like, and her production's like really good. Like, she's got her stuff together. She's got a very unique sound, and again, she incorporates a lot of different sub-genres within the genre, and she's got a very unique vocal delivery, and that is showcased on this song Broken Man. Like, this wasn't my favorite St. Vincent album, the one that Broken Man is is on, but if you listen to like how she's kind of saying the words and just the way that she's singing it, it's a very unusual style. Like I look at nominees wise, the ones that are kind of middle of the road would be Pearl Jam song, Green Day song, and the Black Keys. The ones that are kind of like offbeat and alternative would be St. Vincent's Broken Man, and then Idol's Gift Horse. Idol's is a punk band who I would say with the album Joy as an Act of Resistance, that was 2018, from that point on they've been like really buzzing and building a name. So they are still on that kind of upward trajectory part of their career. Maybe some will say that they've kind of plateaued, but I don't know. I think that their story is still being written. But Gift Horse, it's just a really cool punk rock style song, and you know the vocalist Joe Talbot, he's got a very like kind of a chorus voice. You know how some of them have like a whiny voice, some punk vocalists? Well, Joe Talbot's got one of those kind of gruff punk voices. So yeah, Gift Horse, kind of a more alternative pick in this rock category. And I have to say this about the rock categories as it pertains to the Grammys. I feel like they always go with so many like old and just like storied names. Like last year, like the Foo Fighters were nominated, Queens of the Stone Age were nominated, the Rolling Stones were nominated. I mean, hell, this year in the Best Rock Performance category, the Beatles, that AI assisted song that Paul McCartney, they kind of dusted off an old John Lennon vocal that Yoko Ono approved Now and Then, that's actually nominated for Best Rock Performance this year. So although there's a bunch of new blood in the rock genre, the Recording Academy continues to go with these, you know, picks from the bygone decades. Like if you look at this year's nominees, you've got Green Day from the 90s, you've got Pearl Jam from the 90s. Again, the Beatles from the 60s are nominated in Best Rock Performance. So it's like, why not keep it interesting and kind of go with the cutting edge artists? It's not like there are a lack of good rock artists today, but again, you just get some of the more historic names in these categories. And with Green Day's Dilemma, this is probably my favorite Green Day song off of one of my favorite Green Day albums in recent years. Like I think that this latest Green Day album was better than like the three prior to that. I mean, they've got multiple singles that I think are really good. In fact, they've got a different single that's nominated for Best Rock Performance, The American Dream Is Killing Me. But in this Best Rock Song category, it's Dilemma. And I think that Dilemma is probably one of my 2 or 3 favorite songs from the album. So I thought that this was a strong performance by Green Day, especially so deep into their career. Again, they've probably, you know, their reputation has gotten, again, less interesting over the past 12 to 15 years, just like, you know, over the past 10 or so years for the Black Keys, even a longer stretch for Green Day because they've been around for so long. Dookie was what, 1994. So who do I think is going to win this award? If I had to rank my 3 favorite songs from this group, I would say, oh, this is kind of tough. I would say Gift Horse by Idols, number 3, Dilemma by Green Day, number 2, and my favorite out of this bunch might be St. Vincent's Broken Man. And I kind of think St. Vincent's gonna win this. I just think that she's one of those it artists of this time, right? Like in the alternative category, like she wins a lot in that Best Alternative Music Album. She's either nominated or winning. Most of the time she drops something. Now, I won't be surprised if Green Day wins either in Best Rock Song category or in that Best Rock Performance category with The American Dream Is Killing Me, one or the other. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a split between the two, because the only difference in nominees between these two categories is you also have the Beatles Now and Then in the Best Rock Performance category, but Best Rock Song, it's only these 5. So I think it's either going to be St. Vincent or Green Day winning in this category this year, but I'm gonna go with St. Vincent. But I think that either St. Vincent is gonna sweep the 2 categories, or you're gonna get St. Vincent winning one and then Green Day winning the other. But yeah, that's my thought on Best Rock Song. Again, I'm gonna go with St. Vincent. If it's not her, I think it's gonna be Green Day's Dilemma. Again, I like that Green Day song. But yeah, let me know what you think about this Best Rock Song category. You feel what I'm saying in terms of them going with the obvious picks? We're gonna go with what? Metallica or Neil Young instead of going with some of the more current artists. Let me know your thoughts about this list of nominees. Who do you think should win in terms of who you think had the best song out of these 5? And who do you think will win the award? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love music like I do. I'm Woog. Thanks for tuning in.